Really?
Really? I am just a figment of your imagination.
Oh. And just as they started the stream, their computer froze. There they are. Ooh, we got two commanders. Hey, commander.
Hello. Yep.
It's always so much
I hope
fun
my audio
when
is
the
coming
stream...
through.
Yes, it is. It's always so much fun when the stream starts and it's like, fuck, I've got the stream somewhere on another tab running. And then you got to find that tab.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I was like, I'm getting an echo here.
Yeah. And I'm playing a game. I got a lot of tabs open. Got 3 fucking screens.
Pornhub,
Good
X
luck.
videos, the game, possibly Twitter.
I don't know. Do I have X video open? No, I don't have an X video tab
anyway, this is Phil. Met him on the Brooklyn Atheist stream and got to talking behind the scenes. And there's common goals in lowering the toxicity and promoting understanding between atheists, agnostics, and Christians who want to lower the toxicity everywhere, because my goodness, we live in horrible times. And probably when my schedule gets normalized, going to be doing something in the middle of the week, a talk show to try to undo some of the things that Russia and bad actors have been doing with evangelicals and even our community to try to raise the toxicity. We need to lower it, or we're never going to be able to deal with the division. Even if we disagree, we can agree that we don't want to hate each other.
Exactly. And I just remember just talking with you. I think that we have more in agreement than we have in disagreement. And that's what we should be looking for. So I really enjoy talking. And thanks for having me, by the way, guys. So I know I painted a target on myself. I've got this whole thing going on here. It's okay. I got thick skin, but no, I'm really humbled. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here. And I'm really looking forward to learning to what you guys have to say and listen in. So.
Oh, you won't learn anything.
We have a very special...
You'll learn nothing here. I tell you that. Really thick as shit.
Well,
but we have fun.
What you're seeing here is the atomic nuclear bomb.
This is Roger Bud Fossil. Most of our regular subbies know him as the well-meaning resident of
Another planet.
Yeah, the far left hand of the Dunning-Kruger chart. It's called the peak of Mount Stupid, where your lack of knowledge, like your confidence when you lack so much knowledge is really, really high. And then as your knowledge base increases, your confidence decreases. And then as you actually become real world competent to talk about something, your confidence goes up again. So we like Roger. He's fun.
Also, Phil, Roger goes by a lot of other names. He goes by Roger Fuckwhistle, Roger Twatwaffle. Plenty of names. You'll hear them.
Well,
it's all
that's
good.
mainly out of dog's mouth, though.
Well,
Everyone calls me a
Roger.
Mormon, so it's okay.
He's not a Mormon, but he's just surrounded by them. So anyway, Roger has some theories on how nuclear bombs work.
Blast tests that they did to see what would damage what and how the event unfolded. Now, this is from AtomCentral.com. Very short, showing all these different sequences of atomic bomb blasts. Now, they have a hardened enclosure looking away from the bomb so it won't affect the visual.
Very good, Roger. They actually surrounded cameras by lead bricks.
And of course, it's hardened, so it won't go anywhere. Just like these tanks won't go anywhere. Now they moved it
to everyone. Yeah, don't look directly at a nuclear blast, guys. You probably go blind, especially if you're really close to it. You don't want to go blind.
Yeah, and you probably go blind. That's gonna be your biggest problem, right? Going blind.
Yeah. No, just a public health service there, bit of public health service warnings for people. Don't look directly at a nuclear blast, especially if you're standing next to it, because you'll go blind.
And if the mushroom cloud is bigger than your thumb, it's too close for you to avoid the fallout, and you need to get inside an office building or a basement.
I live in a basement house. Would that count? Just kind of get really low to the floor, like my house is halfway underground.
The more stuff that you have between you and the outside, the better, because like most of the most highly radioactive fallout is gone within a week. That would be the iodine and what was it, the xenon, and a few of the other strontium-90 is still probably the worst because it sticks around like has half-life like 90 years, and but that's still short enough to make it dangerously radioactive.
truck out of here because, oh, what happened to the truck? This is just a toy model. No, it is not. This is atomic bomb blast footage from, I don't know what date it was, but it's Teapot, Apple II, Q House atomic bombs. They have telephone poles and wires and
yeah, this was a test back in the 1950s to see how infrastructure was there. So far, he's doing rather well until he gets to the magnetic
transformers and all the things that you have, gas tanks and a house, shutters and all that, shingles, and they wanted to see what everything was affected by. So they got ready and they blew off an atomic bomb. Now, I don't know how far away it was, but let's say it was a mile away. I don't know.
If it was a mile away,
Hey, Toby.
Hey, Dorp.
Yeah, I need to be paying attention to the chat because we got Orby here. Orby is cool.
What the radius was, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's go.
Oh, and also a common misconception, like with the Church of Satan out of San Francisco and the Temple of Satan in Boston, right? Even though, like, the Church of Satan is actually politically conservative and based on the ideals of Ayn Rand, most of those people actually don't believe in Satan. They're just atheists taking the piss. Same thing with the Temple of Satan in Boston, which is more humanitarian. Most of them don't believe in a literal devil, and they're just taking the piss. The ones you got to worry about are the ones from Russia. They actually do believe that there is a devil, and they love it, and they share it.
But I don't know that for a fact. But you're going to see two completely, totally separate events. And if you were actually, I have one video
Here's where Roger's done in
up there that shows a third event, which is the Whistler wave. I'm not going to bother showing you that, but right now you have the intense radiation and just burns everything up. Nothing moves. And then, away it goes. Now watch what happens here. Of course, they're going to move the truck out of here, so don't start with me about that kind of stuff. Whatever, the truck is just a model. No, it is not. It's conspiracy.
Why is he this incapable of telling what's real and what's fake when he's looking at stone vaginas? He literally finds those things everywhere.
And the dragons that he sees on Google Earth.
Boob Mountain.
Yes, cotton and
Stuff drives me crazy. Now, here it goes. I got to run it real slow. All All right, now what you're going to see, and I'm going to stop it as we go. You're going to see a totally brilliant white light. Everything will glow. Boom, there it is. I stopped it. This is at the instant of the atomic bomb, which is way back here, somewhere way off to the side, a mile away. All right, so the light, the white part is the first thing to hit. And watch what happens. It'll just smoke up. Nothing moves because the light has the white part has no mass. Mass is
so good, Roger.
Is something that is like a chunk of something. Something that is nothing has no mass. And light appears to, the white part of light appears to have virtually no mass.
Mass is a chunk of something. That's genius.
Yes, this is as much concentrated of light as you're going to get, and it didn't move anything hardly. It's just smoking things. So what is it really doing? Think of what's happening. All we got is the white. The white is being pushed into other particles that have their own white. They say, no, 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 you get the hell out of here. And they say, no, 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 they're pushing me. I can't go anywhere.
This is where he's making stuff up.
And everybody pushes back. And it glows. Because when you push and shove field to field, inevitably, you will get light and you will get heat.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry to interrupt. But isn't some scientists now saying, and I don't know, that's why I'm asking, that light is actually a mixture, is a wave, but also particles?
No, it acts like particles. Photons are massless. And Roger's right, but what he's saying here is absolute bollocks.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Light's light, but it does behave like particles, so it gravity can affect it and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
It behaves like a particle and a wave at times. In fact, in graphics computing, there are some models that treat light as a wave, and it's much faster to compute than the ray tracing particles, and it produces very good results.
That's what you got. So let's continue this forward. All we got is smoking up. I'm just going to let it go from here. Watch. It just smokes. The shingles
That's the
all burn up. The facade all burns up. The poles, the wires all burn up. Boom, here comes the black. Two completely, totally separate events. One contains mass. The other one, which preceded it, was just energy. Okay.
Later on, he attributes up to the electric dipole rather than to the shock wave.
Yeah, we knew he was a dumb guy.
Okay, I'm going to show you, or you're going to hear Whistler waves, and you're going to see them in our experience.
He doesn't know what Whistler waves are.
Right.
Whistler waves are just basically just figure out the sound all these electromagnetic waves make together, and they're the radio waves that also come off the
experiments and hear them during a nuclear bomb blast. Now, this is the characteristic of an atomic bomb Whistler wave. Most physicists never even heard of this. What it is, it's the electromagnetic pulse.
So far, so good,
Right?
Roger.
When it detonates, you get this pulse. And it's field pulses first, which are in the low audible range. Well, they're
No, they're not the low audible range. This is
in the audible range to some degree. And you hear brrr, and then nothing until the rest of it happens. And I can actually show you this happening.
Please do, Roger.
This was a relatively flat video. I chose it for I shouldn't have said that. I chose it for the end where he conflates his lack of knowledge and then goes into religion rather than, because what he's claimed here has nothing to do with his religion. It literally has nothing to do with it, and he's trying to use the religion as a crutch to say, I am smarter than you, when the religion has nothing to do with his knowledge of physics, really.
So what you're going to have is a frequency range, typically.
You mean his lack of
again?
knowledge?
Yes, his lack of knowledge and ignorance is not a bad thing. It's when you have so much pride in your lack of knowledge, you're afraid to admit you don't know something. And it makes you feel good to say that I know something, but you don't know it. It's the trap of the Dunning-Kruger chart, the peak of Mount. It's called the peak of Mount.
It falls in the low frequency range, kilohertz to megahertz. Propagation, waves propagate along Earth's magnetic field, Detection, Whistler waves caused by a nuclear explosion can sometimes be detected by special sensors. You can hear them. Why are atomic bomb whistles?
Yeah.
It's not audible sound, it's radio.
That's what he thinks. It's literally whistling a song.
Whistler wave significant. The detection of Whistler waves generated by atomic bomb explosion provide useful information about the detonation, including the altitude of the explosion, the pulse generated, the effects on the ionosphere.
I'm glad he's actually reading from ChatGPT or some reputable source. He's moving closer. He's not necessarily making everything up, even if he does.
And then they're going into, bombs and all this stuff. Well, I'm going to show you this actual Whistler wave happening, and you will hear it too. Here it comes. Not only are you going
He's playing around with laser points and cameras.
Where's his feather?
I don't know that he has like a turkey feather and it's
to hear and see about Whistler waves. You're going to...
Roger, that's a laser pointer you played.
Hear what happened in
I know this episode is a little bit more
last week or so, where they say light goes both directions at the same time, one going this way and one going that way, which it does. When it interacts with the Venturi, this is squirting out this way. And
who's pulling words out of his mouth?
Yeah.
A Venturi is basically you compress gas and then you let it out the other side. Basically, a rocket nozzle is similar.
It has no weight whatsoever, no mass. It's coming through this way, and there's the darkness, has the mass. That's pushing the way. But here, it's just bouncing. So, yes, it goes both directions, confirmed, and one direction carries mass, and the other is massless. Another thing that they just...
You kind of see what we mean where he's making stuff up. All these waves have no mass. They are light. They are just photons and then interference. Okay.
Mm.
And I'm prepping one of the classic. He sees naughty stuff in rocks because this one
said also confirmed. Whistler waves confirmed. High energy waves confirmed. Separation of dark and white matter confirmed. Matter that
Gosh, man,
nothing's confirmed.
Will burn a house down, confirmed. Matter that will knock a house down, confirmed. Subatomic, because we're using light, confirmed.
Just because you're using light doesn't mean it's subatomic. Gamma rays are smaller than atoms. Light rays are the same size or bigger.
Now let's
In fact, I think a lot bigger. Atoms are nanometers. Like visible light, it's like the shortest, like 400 something.
Let's actually show you these things happen in an atomic bomb blast. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what you're going to be seeing, but the first thing is there'll be nothing happening. And then all of a sudden, you'll see a tiny little blast, and you'll hear, and that's this, which is the Whistler waves. They are in this frequency down here, which is in audible range. Now, they had some kind of receivers, and it was picking up this sound, which is the EMP, the electromagnetic pulse. These are electromagnetic fields, and they have no mass to them whatsoever. And
very good, Roger. This one's falling flat. I'm going to be pulled on soon. But I wanted to get to this part where he's complaining about science. Because that's the message that I really wanted.
Shows them separate. I mean, it shows the white and the black. We may be able to get free energy. This, anytime you have excessive illumination, it means you have an increase in energy. That's why they
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Electron showers are extremely much higher than particles that are not in the white electron showering mode. Electron showers go huge energy increase. I mean, they say it's huge, and I have to agree. That is a subatomic nuclear explosion. It's exactly.
Well, it's not. And as someone, well, Dog, I don't know. Brainless is what courses he took, but I know Dog took STEM and I took STEM. Well, anyway, if you have any kind of atomic explosion or any appreciable amount of fission, but
What it is, it's a subatomic bomb. We set off a subatomic bomb right from here.
What the fuck's a
He's
subatomic
claiming to
bomb?
set off as. I have no clue, but you get anything glowing like that, with anything atomic, like fission, someone's getting radiation poisoning. One gamma ray photon has anywhere I forget exactly, but you're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of electron volts. You think that's the range? I might have been talking X-rays of the hundreds of thousands of electron volts, but really a little bit of reaction rips apart tons and tons and tons of DNA molecules.
I mean, we could direct it. All right, and it's a black, so it's just not a big ball of death. This is like a death ray. I mean,
he's claiming to have an atomic, to be using atomic energy.
and I hate to be talking this way and showing these things if somebody could use them to be terrible. And, that's just the way people are now. It's just incredible. But, we need this free energy, too. There's always an upside and a downside, everything. But we need to start realizing that there are rules and laws, not of this world, of the world that you want to go to in your afterlife. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't follow the rules and the laws, you ain't going to get there. As far as I can determine,
The afterlife. There we go, Roger.
Oh, he's getting into something that has nothing to do with physics. And this is not the proper use of religion to say,
He's getting into
since
something
I do not
nothing to do
know.
with reality. Never mind physics.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like he's basically saying, he knows deep down he doesn't understand this. He wants to feel smart. And he's chiding the scientists. And there are plenty of scientists who are atheists, agnostics. There are plenty of scientists who are Jews and Christians, and even Muslims and Hindus. And the
Yes.
science doesn't care about your religion because the science is what you can repeat in a lab. It really is.
Commander.
There's more people in the side of the chats.
Hi, Tank Girl.
Hey,
Oh,
Faggot.
Hi,
Flying
Mousy.
And Flying Mouse.
And Tubian. I said hi to Tubian already.
Tubes. Oh, hello, Tubes. Sorry, I didn't even notice that. I'm too busy killing Nazis.
Yeah, he's got the Elite Sniper video game. I
I've
mean,
looked up and down every single way and every single, well, as much text as I could get through. And it keeps changing daily, but it boils down to one thing. And the only thing I can put in common is there is a God, there's giants, there was dragons.
Roger, you're such a fucking idiot.
the claims of a God that exists at time and out of space is unfalsifiable. And the claims of dragons outside of Komodo dragons, outside of people of acromegaly. When he says giants, he literally means he's talking about Nephilim.
Yeah,
And that, talking about how they're alive right now. And the
Well, I
whole
can't believe
Nephilim
there's someone
thing.
this. So he believes he's scientifically minded. Can just be both. I don't get that. That's just fucking nonsense in my book. Well, that's what Roger's all
In fact,
about. It's fun.
He is, I think he is a nice guy. Because he's like, and the religion, and we need a world where people treat each other with love and respect. And later on in that.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add? Because, like, here, I'm just like saying that the science is what's in a lab, and I don't want it to mean. I'm trying to be nice. I don't want it to mean people. I understand how important people's worldview and faith is to them, even if sometimes they've been a little bit sharp.
Well, I like Roger. He's a fucking. He's fun. I like. He's a laugh. But he's an idiot. Well, I've got nothing against him.
So are you.
Apart from his the misinformation he spreads, whether people, because he's got like 250,000 followers, hasn't he? Possibly more. I don't know. I know he's got a lot.
And it's also the pseudoscience.
Yeah, and some of them are going to believe what, some of them are going to be like MAGA people and believe everything he fucking says. Which is that's what I don't like about disinformation and people just pulling shit out their arse and spreading it across the internet. That's what I don't like about the misinformation side of the internet, because, as I said, there's people that will lap that shit up and start fucking spreading it, and then the humanity will become a lot more stupid as generations go on.
That is true.
There is an issue. Were you saying something?
I was just gonna say I've never been to a church service like this before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the scientific method where you take something in a laboratory and you either try to prove or disprove a theory through observation and test and repeated experiments that we can observe and
falsify it
or falsify?
Yeah. Roger is conflating his religion with knowledge of science. And finish what you're going to say. I'm sorry I interrupted.
No, that was really just my question. This is interesting. I'm trying to be polite.
Oh, Roger's a spanner of the first order. He is absolutely hilarious. The
Yeah, he's
stuff
a tool.
comes out when he's doing his mountains and his rock formation. Say that's a penis. Look, it's a giant's penis and things like that. It is incredibly.
And he's also tying different things to the book of
Hey, my good
well,
friends,
here's
it's
the-
Roger Mudfall.
There you
you
go.
get where we're going here.
He's a real giant.
This is what he is known for. He thinks these were actually real.
Also University, again, with a special request from a good friend, Aaron Hart.
And I know that
Okay.
most churches well, here on the internet, it's not exactly representative of a lot of places, but some places. And the internet is a collection of probably the most bizarre things imaginable.
Over at Age of Disclosure and Time to Reveal the Giants, I believe.
This is what he means by giants. This is either purposefully carved like that, or it was just pareidolia. But he's bringing his he's fun.
Now, I help Aaron and comment on things for him now and then because I do the chemistry part, and I have Mud Fossil University on YouTube, which you should come and subscribe to. It has all of the research, and it's very deep research, and there's no guesses there, and there's no guesses on my Mud Fossil research page on YouTube
what?
either. It's
No
strictly
guesses?
research.
What the fuck?
He's fun.
So it's
Let's
not,
get into
there's
that.
nothing there that, as a matter of fact, I only post research and then people can comment and challenge it. There's no actually posting there. Now, Aaron has a whole different situation. He's got,
Ed tomorrow deals with more serious stuff.
he
than
allows
this
people
stuff.
to come in and look and they think and do all the things that are required to think. I'm at a point where I cannot allow anything that's not 100% valid because I'm presenting it as true research.
He's
Roger.
suggested that they were continent-sized dragons that lying dead in North Africa, and he thinks that this thing was once alive.
I'm at a loss for words here, guys. Obviously, I'm a Christian, but I really don't know what to say about this.
Welcome to Roger.
Hey, well, Roger goes beyond this. I realize that this does not describe your religion at all. The Saturday show is usually just about pseudoscience, laughing at pseudoscience. The Sunday shows are usually more serious and will touch on abuses of religion, propaganda, and more serious stuff. This is just like fun. So this is from after that first one. This is basically a hangout and laughing somewhat at Roger's specialness. I kept the desk.
Is he going to bring up the flat
Okay,
earth?
Okay.
guys.
Roger, believe it or not, is not that far gone yet. But
Okay.
I can tell you that there are such things as biblical flat earthers.
No, actually, that there is.
Yep.
I agree with you on that. It's actually no. I'm not saying I don't believe in that, but there is a movement. It's a small movement, and I don't know where it came from, but biblically speaking, from the Bible, I don't know where they're getting the idea from. So yeah.
Oh, there's a few passages.
Oh, the circle of the earth in Isaiah 40, which
Four
is like
corners of the earth. being held up by pillars and all that nonsense. Yeah.
Actually, the Bible says
They are
it's
taking it
they're taking
literally.
it. Yeah, they're taking it
rather than-
literally. It's kind of like when we talk about even today we talk about a sunset and a sunrise, right? Like I love the beautiful sunset or sunrise. We know the sun isn't moving; the Earth is rotating. But to take something literal like that, it's actually gone so far that they're attacking other Christians. Say, for example, there was a Christian astronaut who went up and was in the space station, took all these beautiful photos of the Earth, and they're basically calling him a liar and a fraud and all this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, yeah, there is a small movement of that going on, and that is unfortunate.
Yeah, but every flat earther, everyone who believes that there's a dome above us has had to become born again, because there's no other way that dome got there unless it was placed there by some sort of deity or magic man in the sky. That's the only reason they become born again, these flat earthers, is because of the dome and the nonsense therein.
Yeah, I could totally get into. I get what you're coming from, and I'm not arguing with you at all. I'm trying to stay away from. I want to get into theological arguments with these people who are making these claims. So anyway, no, go ahead.
I'm trying to, with my other computer, pull up some pictures. We'll get to Roger, folks, but the subject of flat Earth came up, and I wanted to show how the flat earthers are actually using maps that Alexander Dugin uses for his crap. There's a shorter video with the penguins on the channel where operator Starsky is, yo, Russia promotes flat Earth and all sorts of bullshit, Tataria, and all of that. My mouse for the other computer isn't working, and I just can't get to. Let me start the.
It's a different situation. So his page is dedicated to everybody having looking and trying to find out what things are. And I go there and I see and I find things that, yes, they're what they are. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they are. I can't afford not to have the right thing. So I'm going to show you how I make my determinations, and I'm going to comment on some of the things he sent. And I like to do this. All I care about is having people understand this is real, it's not silly, and there are very deep ramifications.
No.
It's not a monkey bone.
It's not silly.
No,
You're not silly.
Of course not, Roger.
That thing being a actual formerly living creature rather than a statue. It's obsolete.
All right. Now, this is a colossus somewhere, I'm not certain where, but it's a giant, and it was frozen by a Gorgon type of technology long ago.
Oh yeah, he's also into Tataria.
Yeah. A Gorgon
Yes, he's
type
into
technology.
Tataria.
Can I ask a question? What religion is he claiming?
He'd be a Christian, no doubt.
He's claiming Christian, but there's this weird hodgepodge of Blavatsky shit infiltrating the Christianity. This is the result of the Russians pushing the bullshit. There's this one flat earther. He's got the monotone voice. I'm trying to remember. He's the raging anti-Semite. I'm having a senior moment. Come on, guys.
Whoa, like that's kind of describing like almost every flat
Eric
earther.
Dubay, yeah.
Douchage.
Eric Dubay. Like
Yeah.
he's basically a hate hippie. He's the perfect example of what I mean by the theosophists. But like he's got the rainbow shit. He's hugely anti. I'm not talking about LGBT. I'm talking about just the image of rainbow stuff that you would expect from New Age religion. He's got the Zen Buddhism. He's got a little bit of Christianity. He's got Tataria. He's got the whole gambit of what you would expect from Blavatsky, and there's all this tie-in. That video with the penguins where Starsky is talking about how the flat Earth, Tataria, and all kinds of bullshit. It comes from it. Literally, that almost got the flat Earth that Dugan actually.
I'd have to agree with you on this. I mean, this sounds more new agey than, I mean, Gorgons and stuff like that. Honestly, guys, I've been I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, I've been a Christian for 31 years. In all the circles that I've been in, Gorgons and all this kind of stuff, I mean, come on, how is Medusa coming up next? I mean, where's the thunderbolts from Zeus? This really seems really new agey to me. It's interesting.
That's Roger for you.
I'm not trying to insult him. I don't know the gentleman, and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm really not. But it's my brain is going, what? So
his personality, I think, deep in his heart, even though he's very confused, he's not a bad person. He's that, or at least he doesn't mean to. He's confused, to say the least.
And it's written about by Ovid they call him. But anyway, this is the structure. Now, you can see the pose. It's extraordinary, these poses. They have looks of wonder on their faces a lot of times. You see this architecture right here? You see that? That's the blood running down through the arterial side. Whenever it's red or rusty color, that's the artery side. It has what's called FeO.
What? Well, how
he believes these things were alive.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not attacking the guy. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to wrap my brain. Well, no, I don't do that. That's not my personality. I'm just I'm sure he is a nice guy. I don't know anything. I want to talk to him, to be honest with you. It's just, yeah. Now he's talking about these arterial veins. I mean, to me, what I'm seeing, it looks like a sculpture that's been weathered over time. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Or it's just a rock.
Or yeah, it could be a rock. I mean, the only thing that's got me confused is that face thing. Is that?
Well, that could be pareidolia that you're having. We all see the face, but it could just be a rock.
Yeah, it could be. You know, depending on the what kind of sedimentary rock was washed away by the weather or wind and stuff like that. But I mean, it's been proven that we automatically, like, if we look at an image, our brains automatically assign a shape or something to it. I forget what the term is.
That's like looking up at clouds and seeing, spaceships and things like that, and sheep and dogs, and that's what pareidolia is. It's basically the definition of it. You see things out of nothing. You make your brain makes these images up.
I would love to see this particular formation from a different position. Like if you could raise or lower the camera. Is this the only view that he has of it? So I'm not trying. Yeah, it's not my intention to attack the guy. I don't know him at all. He sounds like he has a sweetheart, but my brain is going wow right now. That's all. I'm just saying this, guys, because honestly, in the news, what you hear most of the time are all the negative stuffs. I just want to confirm that the majority of Christians, at least in my life, were not believing stuff like this. So.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Then along came Roger.
A lot of us have been Christians at some point in our lives, so.
No, I'm actually kind of embarrassed, to be honest with you, by watching this. So I guess that's why I'm talking. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt the stream.
Iron oxide with the 3 oxygens. As it comes down, it forces itself through to the other side where it comes back as blue blood. In mud fossils, it will show up as black. Now, you see this stripe right here? You see?
In mud fossils.
Roger. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I'm just gonna.
No, in fact, no, I won't say that. Actually, that's a bit cruel of me. I'll think it though.
So this is a map the flat earthers use, but it's also a map in some of Alexander Dugin's books. It's called Hypoborea, and it's connected to weird cults, including the bad guys of World War II.
The people I'm shooting right now. Yeah.
See that? It almost looks like somebody took a little pizza dough or something and wrapped it over there. That is tendon. It's clearly different from what you see over here. And I'm going to show you the anatomy that'll show this. But anyway, the blood runs down all the way. So this is what we got. These are real. This I certify by Mud Fossil University as a real ancient.
Certified by Mud Fossil University. Okay.
One thing about Roger, he is certified, or certifiable, I should say.
Yeah.
He was banned from the MIT campus. They told him he was a tinfoil hat. Where he actually lives in, or he lives. I know he said he lives less than an hour from MIT, but I'm unsure if he lives in Connecticut or Massachusetts.
Creature that was done in instantaneously, and Ovid has all of this. All of this is documented, so it's not something that is it's just a guess. I'm saying, oh, he must have done that instantaneously. No, he wrote all about this. He wrote that they did this to make lawn sculptures. Literally, they did this and they posed these people and froze them instantaneously.
The Gorfian Testament frozen.
Okay, so lawn ornaments are real people? Wait, what? What? Holy shit!
What he said.
Wait. What are garden gnomes?
Yeah. Fairies at the bottom of the garden, all of that shit, mate. Roger just said that.
That's what it says. All right, here's another one Aaron sent me, and it's there's the guy's artery as they ripped his arm off, and you can see.
That's an interesting statue. We know that's a statue. There's no way it's not a statue. It's too close to. This is all Roger does is like find
that's
these.
A real person. That's a real person. Come on, like how can you not?
Poor fella had his arm ripped off.
Yeah. Like how can you say that is fake?
Yeah.
Like come on, that's neglecting the suffering that person had.
See the architecture of his arm, there's his artery bleeding all over the place. I mean, it's so unbelievable. I can't.
And the internet is filled with this. Now I gave you access to the Project Bellicose run, basically the series that I helped him do research on. And one of these, he's like a strong delusion, and he plays the Flat Earther convention. But this has been going on for a long time, because that footage from the Flat Earther convention, from that one video, from the Project Bellicose video, was back in 2000.
I can't even imagine what was going on back then, but Ovid wrote about this. They told these guys, go up and hold this thing up, and then they froze them in place. It's just what happened. It was written about. Now, down here, you see all of the blood flowing down. That's the part where I showed you before, how the different types of muscle is darker here and separated and so forth. Now,
I wonder, though, what drives someone outside of trolls to just look at statues like this and instantly say, this is real.
It was written about, though. I remember reading something in a book called by J.R.R. Tolkien. Is it called Oh, yeah, about giants being frozen. The statue.
Lord of
So-
the Rings.
That was a book, yeah. Real scientific book.
Oh, there's another video I'm going to show eventually from a friend down in Virginia. They put on it, but that's like for a whole nother stream where literally you're better off reading The Lord of the Rings than some philosophy book.
There's the other foot.
Chuck Colson suggested Lord of the Rings over certain philosophy books, and I know Phil knows
There's
who
blood
Chuck. I actually
blowing
met
out of
Chuck
that one.
once.
There's blood blowing out here. It was alive. That's all there is to it. It was alive. Case closed. Okay, I went back and looked at the video that I did, and I got a little carried away with the transition metals, but I need people to understand the transition metals, and there they are. And these are the only reason you are alive and breathing oxygen and doing all the things that you do. And
Well, they do help with all like chemistry, nucleic acid, copper, iron. We all got a little bit of these. Iron over here is the most important of them all.
every bit of your anatomy requires to have a full complement of these metals. And it's not only these, there's almost 100 of them. You contain iridium and uranium, and all of that stuff is in your body, and it has a function. And
Wait, we have uranium in our body?
No, uranium actually has
Hello,
no
Christopher.
function whatsoever.
carries molecules around. Every one has a special function and carries a certain specific molecule to do a certain specific job. Some of them may do your elbows. Seriously, it can be that specific. Some of them might do the nails on your body, and some of them are the eyes and eyelashes, the thin skin, the thick skin, all the different things has. They attach to the heavy metals. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. But if you break them, or if you go in there with antibiotics and kill them all, and these all go home and you're going to be healthy.
So is he saying the metals in our
metals?
Is he saying the metals in our body are living now as well?
Yeah,
No.
he said you can kill the transition metals with your antibiotics. No, that's not how it works.
That's not how any of this works.
You just sent somebody home with a death sentence. You sent them home to be chronically ill.
That's why
It's a fact.
everybody is sick.
If you don't have the
dead.
right bacteria in your gut, which is what antibiotics kills, goes right through, they'll kill everything, it's all no good.
Now he's talking about bacteria. And Roger, if you're looking at this, your feather is a trademark. You're using a proper pointer stick.
These will never be able to do their job, and you will be sick. And that's why I get frustrated, because all we need is to have a national or a worldwide database that says, all right, here's what the metals are that are in your blood. All you need is a fluoroscope. They take a blood drop, and bloop, 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 it says
That's not how it works.
27% iron, 6% this, and 1% of that, and blah, 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 blah. And there's 100 of them. There's 100 of them. Now,
No, there isn't 100 transition.
you match that to the bacteria that is in the fecal sample. So here you are, you got a blood drop, you got a little piece of poop. Between the two of them, that is your life.
He's a silly dude. I hope we didn't chase anyone away.
That is your life. Your life is based on poop.
Okay, I gotta add in here. I have Crohn's disease. Since we're on the topic of poop, and all these probiotics and stuff like that. Trust me, if that worked, I wouldn't be dealing with that right now. I don't know where he's coming from on this.
Well, I mean, he's a very jolly fella who goes onlining. Like, we're actually inadvertently helping him with the algorithm by sitting here laughing at it. But he finds his, I know what he's talking is bollocks. But I mean, this is what we wind.
I'm not laughing at the guy. I'm actually starting to feel sorry for him. I don't know where he's getting this information or where he started from. This is, I mean, grade school science teaches you better than this, so I don't understand.
Well, that's Roger for
Oh,
you. He makes a lot of this up. He's got these theories. He sees these things. He believes these things, and he just puts it out there for everyone to laugh at. Because he gets covered by a lot of channels. I know we've covered him on Slim. We cover him here. I don't know if Dave has covered him. I think he has. Maya Atkinson, she covers him a lot. He just gets covered all the time for his ridiculous rhetoric.
And as you go through like years of sifting the internet for material like this, you do, like at some level, I do feel sorry for him. You're right, because he's confused. He seems like a well-meaning guy. And this is a result of a bunch of nonsense on the internet, but also I think a broken education system.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know how old the rest of you folks are, but I remember when the internet started being mainstream in the 90s, and it was like, great, we have access to all this information, but a lot of the information on there is false.
Yeah, that's the thing about the internet. It's the greatest source of intellect of information on ever created, but it's also the greatest source of misinformation, disinformation ever created too. It's polar.
And then sometimes they almost get it right. I remember I quickly looked up the ideal gas formula just before test. And I did use the formula that I looked up and quickly memorized. I should just memorize the ideal gas formula right off. But I got lazy that semester. And I did use it. I did get an answer that was so gosh darn close to the correct answer that I even tried arguing with the professor, but she's like, but what's this? So like I got an answer that functionally was good enough, but it still wasn't right. So you can have really close information and still be wrong.
Sorry, Dave. I thought he'd have been right up your street. All hell Bigfoot, by the way. I thought he'd been right up your street, old mud fossil.
Bacteria. I just thought about that. It's so funny. I gotta take a break. Okay, my friends, I am sorry. That just struck me funny. My father used to tell me things that made me laugh about. He used to say that everything you drink's been through the kidneys of a Chinaman at least once. Anyway, these kind of things strike me. Anyway, I'm going to go into some other stuff. At one point I say I'm going to wrap it up here. Well, I don't wrap it up. I just keep on going. So, anyway, I needed a good laugh. All right, thanks. Just keep watching. It's really very interesting. And this is not a monkey bone. I keep saying that, and it is not. It is not just a curiosity. All right, you should really look deep into this. Go to Mud Fossil University, subscribe, and start learning. Because
and Phil, you actually might want to contact him because he's if you want to know more about him, because Roger, believe it or not, we made a criticism of one of the things that he did. I think it was the last stream that we did. And then we looked something up online. And then we started talking about that. And then the next few videos, he's talking about the thing that we were talking about.
Well, that's what I'm actually curious about. I'm wondering if there's a way I could talk to him, because just from my I guess you call it my faith perspective, I want to know what the theology he's coming from and where he's getting all this stuff. And I don't know, me, I got a small channel. I don't have a large audience, so I don't know if he would talk to someone like me, but I actually really want to talk to this guy and find out a lot more where he's coming from.
In his comments and invite him.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll need a link to his channel, but I'll do that. And
I'll give it to you.
Okay, thanks.
When you sift through, and I'm telling you, when you sift through the bollocks channels, pseudoscience channels, there's always a hint of the hyperborea, the crap from Blavatsky.
Did you guys hear what?
That's something that I've known.
Did you guys hear the experiment they just ran in South America, or Antarctica? Just last month, they took a bunch of flat earthers down there.
We covered that.
Okay.
Yeah, but most of us are also adjacent to the flat Earth debunk community, so.
Yeah, we've already covered that shit.
Okay, I'm new to the channel, so I don't know. I apologize.
Yeah, those fuckers are silly.
You should come back more often.
Well, thank you.
And Jaren, yeah, you're welcome here. Jaren and a lot of those other people, they're gonna, even if they acknowledge that, yeah, they're gonna. One thing too about being dishonest with YouTubes and social media and then turning it to money.
Well,
like
Jaren's already, sorry, go on. Jaren's already discounted the flat Earth map as the one he believes in, or he believed in. He already discounted that now. He said it's up to the community to work out a new map because the one that we worship doesn't work anymore.
All right, so they're still sticking to the flat Earth theory, but now they're saying, "Oh, we just need a new map."
A lot of them are trolls.
Yes.
Anyway, they're just getting in there for the money.
No, gotcha. Okay.
The whole thing about the grift. There's just so many grifters. Like, I genuinely think Roger is confused. But even if you brought the light of day to him regarding all of this, would he put his channel on hold enough to just sit down and learn how things actually work? Or would he be addicted to the attention and the ad revenue and just continue regardless? That is a question.
That's actually something I'm wondering too. Is he doing this to just get the ad revenue, getting the views? Or is it a mixture of the two? I don't know. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I want to talk to this guy. I'm kind of really halfway, and I'm talking, but I'm feeling kind of speechless, and I'm just wondering, where is he getting all this from? I mean, I'm sure you guys have a lot more knowledge in the science than even I do, but I mean, even me looking at this stuff, it doesn't make sense.
He's making it up.
Yeah, I'm not that high educated, but like, yeah, that
he's literally making most of it from his own personal.
Yeah, I am quite interested in science and technology, but yeah.
Oh, you're better than me.
He is making it up. He is making it up because this is the kind of talk that I would do when I was 7 years old and wanted to sound smart and confident, but hadn't a clue as to what I was talking about.
Yeah, these are his own.
So I can.
He's just going on his own personal beliefs.
Yeah, I just want to make this disclaimer, Roger. If you're seeing this and you're hearing me, I'm not trying to attack you personally. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, and I want to have a dialogue with you. And I am open to that anytime if you want to set up a date. That's all I want to say. I don't know you, and
a date even.
well,
this is the thing about Roger. He'll tell you.
Well, you know, I do like dates as long as you buy me dinner first.
It's a nice voice.
Roger, I forgot, I've lost my train of thought now.
Wait, you have thoughts?
I did have a thought. I was saying something, and then that date thing come on.
Roger badgers college professors and educators to the point where he gets blocked. So he does like talking to people. And Roger, this channel, even though like you're a lol cow, we do actually feel sorry for you.
Well,
because we do notice your confusion.
I think he's a genius. He could be a troll for all we know. He's got a cult. I bet he's making a fortune off YouTube.
Well, in that regard, yeah, he is. Maybe he gaslit himself into believing his stuff too. I mean,
well, that's the thing with Roger. He always say this is written down, but he'll never point you to where it's written down. That's the thing about Roger. He'll never give you any peer review papers on the subjects he talks about. He just does it himself. That's why we believe he just makes this shit up.
Yeah, that's one thing when you're presenting information, you need to back it up with the evidence. I'm not going to make a claim unless I have some sort of evidence to back it up, regardless if it's on the fringe where people are disputing it or something that's solid. But you've got to post links to this stuff. You can't just put a PowerPoint or whatever he's showing on the screen and then make all these claims. You've got to back up what you're saying.
He did publish a couple of papers. I believe I sent Commander some of that info.
Didn't he sell it?
Yes, he did. I do have it.
He blocked them now.
Well, he's blocked by MIT. He's blocked by Princeton. He's blocked by Fermi Labs. He's blocked by CERN. I think he's blocked by CERN. And I mean, the science communicators, like, I'm pretty sure if he wrote, like, there was one person at J Labs when I did a 3-month internship in the summer for college credit. There was a person whose entire job was to respond to science inquiries from the general public. So they do, if you have real honest questions, places like that do respond.
Just go, well, I say learning, go look. If you see something, it turns you on, you think it's right, well, maybe there's something there, well, take a
I was working full-time and taking engineering classes.
Nothing there, you will find nothing, zero, that is not
Did he just say,
with some
look at something if it turns you on? Yeah, hell yeah, that's what I do. If I see a hot chick, I'll keep looking.
material, physical
Not
evidence,
too obviously,
or at least
of course,
a very good story from the ancient texts, which I now believe are literally word for word fact. I mean, there's the things that they wrote which nobody could have expected, like a dragon and a Leviathan and all these insane things that we've been finding at Northwestern University. They are actually true things
What ancient texts is he talking about? Hindu texts? Muslim texts? Is he
talking
talking about
the Bible?
Well, this isn't in the Bible.
Dragons are in the Old Testament.
Yeah, it mentions dragons, but they're not the size of a continent.
There's witches and wizards. It's basically Bible's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Dumbasses. Nobody, don't disrespect, Phil. But
I got a thick skin. Don't worry about it.
I've been burned by religion in my childhood, and I hate it. I hate being an atheist.
I'm sorry, dude. Listen, I understand. I really do. I don't take any offense, and I understand a lot where you're coming from. We've been burned. I've gone through it myself.
But yeah, the giants, dragons, leviathans, monsters, ghouls, and ghosts, and all that shit.
There's no ghouls. The word dragon is only found in the King James, and that's just because the word dinosaur wasn't invented back then. But even then, that's debatable what we're talking about, and a lot of it can be taken symbolically and not literally. But the stuff that this gentleman is going into, I mean, the Bible does not claim to be a scientific book at all. It's not trying to make that claim, and so
it's a book of power and control and fear. Like in the King James, like in Scripture, there's no fire and brimstone hell in original Scripture, but in the King James there is, lake of fire and all that, and that we know that was based from a book from Dante's ironic comedies.
I would be happy to talk. I don't want to switch this channel. I don't want to hijack the conversation on that. I'm just saying from the current version that we have now.
There's eternal nothingness.
There's actually like 3 different Greek words that they use that's translated as hell in the Bible, and it's like Sheol's one of them, but there's also others. Sheol
was just the grave, but it did not exactly indicate suffering specifically.
Yeah,
right.
Sheol was just the grave.
Death without the eternal glory of getting up and worshiping someone for the rest of your life.
But just what I'm trying to say is what he's coming back and he's talking about the ancient scriptures. I mean, I'm not saying this out of pride.
The book of Enoch is weird to say the least.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this is coming from there too. And misinterpretations like in Job, behemoth. That's a Hebrew word that we derive behemoth from.
Genesis, even.
The thing is, what I'm trying to say is what he's going through, and he's saying that the ancient scriptures. Well, I've never come across this before in 31 years. And just a disclaimer, guys, before I became a Christian, I was an atheist, so kind of reverse, kind of compared to what you guys were. But either way, I'm not trying to turn this into a religious debate. I'm just like, I'm really wondering where he's getting this stuff from because
he's from his own mind.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to insult the guy. It's not my purpose to do that, but it's just, I'm cringing every time I'm hearing him. So.
Yeah, we all are.
And also too, and they get a lot of their ideas from Hollywood. Like for instance, and we're not going to go deeper into the Bible. I'm just going to say there's no place where there's zombies that come and try to eat you, gobble your tummy. And there's no place in there where. But Hollywood. And then the Left Behind series, which was a pile of poop that doesn't even match the original. So and then, I mean, it's what Roger has and what a lot of these people have is a cross-pollination of a ton of stuff mixed with Blavatsky's bullshit. Because, of course, wherever there is Blavatsky's bullshit, there is Russian bullshit.
And they're true like this, the Gorgons. Somehow they petrified these people instantaneously. What is that all about? There's a lot of study.
Yeah, what's that all about?
And I mean, this is Greek mythology.
Yeah, the magic free,
Greek mythology.
That's what they had, a magic freeze ray. Come on, Roger, wake up. You should know this. You're a scientist.
Could be done. You know, I think the academics might enjoy this if they ever got into it and let themselves devolve.
Oh, they'll enjoy it.
All right.
They'll
See you later.
They'll have a laugh.
All right, we'll finish it up with the Colossus of Colossus of Apennine, I believe.
Of
That is
asinine?
an awesome statue.
It is. The beard
Oh,
is
that's beautiful.
great.
Yes,
Beard
yes,
and hair.
indeed.
Is how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
And this was supposed to have been done in the 1500s. Well, it wasn't done in the 1500s. This was long, long ago where the gods were here. And this was done by the gods, and they added a nest on the guy's
Gods? Is he
The
Mormon?
gods. No. We have not exactly classified him.
I think
Honestly,
he
I
is,
have not classified him.
He is mud fossil. Like I think there is nobody that believes the way he believes.
Yeah.
He picks and chooses from every belief and religion and thing what he wants to believe.
I hope I can talk with this guy. I really need to pick this guy's brain apart.
back in the 1500s, and I'll show you that. Now, again, this is the kaolin clays. This is all the red, bloody stuff that runs out. I can see all kinds of architecture on the skin, the blood running out of his legs. He had on some kind of a...
See, architecture,
It's
that's
not
the right
like it's
word,
some
Roger.
sort of mineral.
That's natural erosion right there. That's not blood.
Don't tell him.
cape that was on him when he first originally was petrified. Now, let's look at other pictures about him. All right, this is what it looks like. This is and all they did was they built this thing up on his back. That's all. And they put a little dragon nest up down there in the 1500s. The rest of it is 100% real. I've checked that thing every single way you can check it, and it is 100% correct. And
Okay, so he went there and okay.
I didn't know that there was a room in the guy's
Ovid wrote everything about this in Metamorphosis. It was very, very clear. They talked about doing it. They froze 200 of them in one day, and one guy was swinging his sword.
Get this from. Where's that written down?
Wait, there's not 200. There's
Yeah,
not
and-
200 of those things.
And I think that this is quite insulting because he's like, oh yeah, people could never have made this. But like artists an artist or multiple artists have put so much time and effort into this. To discard that's insulting.
I agree. I'm right there with you. That is insulting. I mean, where's this statue located anyway? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
Let's go back. Maybe he mentioned that
Is he going to say that
it was
what's it-
called
what's
the
it called?
Colossus.
Mount Rushmore is dead giant presidents?
I'm sorry. That's a good one. No, this is obviously artwork. I don't know how old it is, and I'm not going to make a claim. I can definitely
this
see
is-
weatherization, but that's not
They said
something
it-
turned to stone by a gorgon or anything like that.
He said it was.
Oh, wait, you know what I just do?
Oh,
He said it was called the Colossus. But you can take a screenshot and Google it. It's so
That's-
unique. I'm
that's
pretty
what
sure
I'm-
there's only one of them.
I'm doing it. That's what I'm doing.
Last night, in preparation for tomorrow's stream, I took a screenshot of a little video that Allie gave me of a Cadaverite just shooting like he was drunk off his ass and then falling into a man. And I found
Oh, yeah,
out
that
that
one
that
was-
was in Mariupol.
That was quite funny.
found the building.
No direction.
And to give you an idea, Mariupol, you couldn't fire a rifle and hit anywhere where there's a current Ukrainian unit. That would be like covert ops infiltrating.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Mhm.
he was just firing out to the ether and then putting it on TikTok and fell into a
It's in Italy.
lot.
I would have said Italy or Greece.
And yeah, I'm gonna put it in the side chat because I'm not gonna butcher that name. That's the person that made it. That's the artist.
I'm sorry.
Ian Bologna.
Yeah, and they're also the architect. You want the phone number for the place? This is it's
There he goes,
it's
right
pretty-
down the hole.
Oh yeah. You sent me that. I was
And,
like,
like,
oh, fuck.
So, to give you an idea of why Russia sucks so hard, if Ukraine captures a Kadyrivite, one Kadyrivite is worth probably 20 Ukrainian POWs. But because there's so much cronyism and corruption and political bullshit, it's called Verania, where everyone knows it's nonsense, but they go along with it anyway. These guys are considered, they're given elite pay. They're considered more valuable than your average Russian soldier, and yet they're absolutely useless on the battlefield. But because they're basically friends of Kadyrov, they're
that guy's got pain.
that's
Oh.
notorious.
I'm sorry.
That's
Oh,
why
fuck, that-
Ukraine has laid out over 800,000 of them. Because we are blessed by imbeciles. The only dangerous part about Russia really is its propaganda, because that is probably their most effective means of fighting.
Yeah, because that,
'Cause, I mean,
that
it-
is reaching Americans.
Yeah, their military has been hollowed out by corruption, nepotism, cronyism, to the point where this is their elite fucking warriors. Where they just fire guns in the air like idiots, put it on TikTok, and then fall into a manhole.
Apennine, I believe is how you pronounce it. And this was supposed to have been done in the 1500s. Well, it wasn't done in the 1500s. This was...
Yes, it was.
By the way, most of Russia's Spetsnaz were lost like in the first 20 days. Most of their, what we would have considered Delta equivalent, they were lost like in the first 20
long
days.
ago, where the gods were here, and this was done by the gods, and they added a nest on a guy's back in the 1500s, and I'll show you that. Now, again, this is the kaolin clays, this is all the red, bloody stuff that runs out. I can see all kinds of architecture on the skin, the blood running out of his legs. He had on some kind of a cape that was on him when he first originally was petrified. Now, let's look at other pictures about him. All right, this is what it looks like. This is and all they did was they built this thing up on his back. That's all. And they put a little dragon nest up down there in the 1500s. The rest of it is 100%.
So he was built in the 1500s, and they just found him there in the 1500s, I guess, and built a temple on his ass.
Not real. I've checked that thing every single way you can check it, and it is 100% correct. And Ovid wrote everything about this in Metamorphosis. It was very, very clear. They talked about doing it. They froze 200 of them in one day, and one guy was swinging his sword, and the other guy turned into stone so quick that when he hit him, his sword went twang, and he was also frozen at the same time.
All I gotta say
Well-
is, I'm due for a colonoscopy pretty soon, and I'm wondering if that's what I look like when they do one.
Maybe. I'm going to answer this one. Well, Russian propaganda, it really doesn't work unless you. What? Here's how most of it works. I'm going to give an example. Russia will come and talk to you about something that you love. Whatever it is, let's say it's donuts. And then after they create a rapport with you over donuts, then the people that they don't like and they want you to attack, they will say, those people do not like donuts. Not only that, but they want to take your donut away. And it's a bit more complicated than that. But a lot of the bullshit that they spew, you actually have to be willing to believe it in order to believe it. Yeah, it takes a little bit more than just. And it's also the sheer magnitude of it.
With a look on his face of amazement, is what it said. All right, I told you I would make it extremely clear how different things have different transition metals in them, and this is what I've been pointing out to for years now, and I don't even think anybody realizes what it is other than the people that have been paying attention to mud fossils. This is a heart. It's an opalized heart. Now, opals form in blood. Blood is thick.
No.
What?
Opals
What?
form.
No, an
Opals
opal's
form
made in a car factory.
in-
Oh, sorry.
Opals form in acidic water that is acidic enough to dissolve a silicate. I mean, that's why they're like found where there were ancient seas that dried up, and that's why the best ones are found in Australia, where there was an ancient sea that was really acidic. You get like the silica gel, and it forms nanoscopic spheres of silica, and that's what makes an opal. Now, this is not a heart.
Thick blood. Australia is slaughtered with blood, and the blood has transition metals in it, and when it's wet, these things, all of the body tissue, its natural condition is in wetness is to pass things in and out. It loves to move things in and out. It's called carboxylation. And it's carboxylation of transition metal elements.
Sorry,
No,
I'm really bad
if it
today.
was an opal, it would be made out of silicon. Silica. Silicon dioxide. Spherical.
Every time you see a color, it's a transition metal.
Yeah, it's some kind of doping. And doping is where you have an impurity.
Every
that
time you
adds
see
something.
it clearly delineated in these forms, it means that that particular type of tissue needs a certain type of metal to do its job.
Yep.
This might be vanadium, it might be copper, it might be whatever it is. There's 100 different transition metals. There's even iridium and uranium are transition.
Yep, they're not. Well, actually, iridium is, but uranium, I believe it's a lanthanide or a thornite. I forget which family of the unstable
And they
elements
are
it's
in your body. And they do certain jobs. And the jobs they do are critical, and they just don't understand that either. They think.
Oh, we understand a lot. Oh,
We
shoot.
probably understand more than him.
Yes.
Type of metal to do its job. This might be vanadium, it might be copper, it might be whatever it is. There's 100 different transition metals. There's even iridium and uranium are transition metals, and they are in your body. And they do certain jobs. And the jobs they do are critical, and they just don't understand that either. They think they're just rattling around in your body. Well, they are not. They grab onto molecules up in your heart. They bring them down to your legs and extremities and your whole body, and they drop them off. And as that pH changes, they grab onto a molecule to take back up to the heart to add another oxygen to it.
It had nothing to do with pH. Everything to do with spending the oxygen. And I think we are at an hour and a half, and I do have to start getting ready for work. It's been great. Everyone had fun. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me on here. It was a blast, actually.
Yeah, and it come back.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
I don't know your streaming schedule.
We're on
So-
tomorrow.
What
Well,
time?
tomorrow at 3 p.m., we're going to be doing somewhat
Is that-
serious, somewhat fun. It's about the comments that are being left on the Ukraine Matters and Operator Storsky's YouTube channel. Thank you, Allie, and thank you, the mod team, for making those available. They're often very ridiculous, but these narratives, they you have these bots that go out and just promote these little ideas, and the Russians find out what sticks. They do more and more and more, and it's gradually eroding support for Ukraine. And also, tomorrow I'm going to be, we're going to do fun stuff like this, making fun of the elite warriors who just but also there's some comments saying Ukrainians only fight because we give them money, and I want to drive home the point that that's not the case. I mean, I've been doing research and I found quotes from War Department films from World War II where Russians are getting their talking points from the Nazis.
Well, Russia is
And
facing getting weapons from elsewhere now because they've run out of money themselves.
yeah, I mean, Russia has pretty much emptied its hey, everything the Soviet Union built. All their ammo's been depleted. Russia is almost, I know we keep saying this, but it doesn't have infinite resources. They're hauling tanks from the 1950s to the front. Let me drop one of those videos in the Discord and then just transfer it to this computer and play it for you.
Yeah, aren't the North Koreans
my
over
phone
there
is
now, too?
nearly yeah.
Yeah, the
Hey, so-
problem with that is, what is Korea getting from this?
Right. Just real quick question. The
North
time you gave
Korea
for this-
what was
Just
your
the time-
question?
the time that you gave, what time zone is that? Is that Eastern time zone? I'm just trying to figure out so I don't miss the
Eastern.
stream. Okay.
Eastern.
Sorry.
I live in New York.
Okay.
I'm looking for those tapes from the 1950s being dragged to the front. I mean, and I will tell you what North Korea gets. Ever since the fall of the Soviet Union, there's been the North Korean economy it's always been crap, but it really took a turn for the worse because when the Soviet Union fell, Russia stopped giving it discount gas. And that basically brought a halt to almost everything in the country and plunged it into a deeper crap than it had been in at any time in the history of the DPR. And so in order for Peyton to be getting what he's getting, he's probably opening up the faucets for the fuel. That's the only thing that I can think of that he has that North Korea desperately needs.
And what about military knowledge?
Oh yeah, that too.
And like that is a dangerous thing.
But
Because
the
Putin
Russians
will only threaten, but Un is probably gonna will also probably use, like if he would have nukes.
They are trying to break the transatlantic alliance. They are trying to break. I hope
Trump
they
will
do
break
not
that.
succeed.
I think Trump will break that. He's already
And
postulated
then
in both countries in the world. Or postured, I should say.
yeah, if America invades a NATO ally, it's pretty much over. I actually don't. These are T-52s. These are like tanks from when, well, Stalin had just died when these rolled out. But this is what they're bringing to the front. T-52s. That's basically it. They're almost out. Well, anyway, everyone have a good night. And
Yes,
see you
safely.
tomorrow.
Drive safely, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
drive
will.
safely.
Thanks again, everyone,
See,
for having me
there's
on. It was
snow
a
on the
pleasure
ground
meeting
here.
you.
Hopefully
I'll
see you
see you at the
tomorrow.
captain.
And you're always welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'll
I
be here
hope to see
tomorrow.
most of you at the captain's desk in a bit on Saturday night.